Good morning, Megan.
Hi.
I'm so excited you're here. Now, this is New Life South. Which campus are you currently a part of?
CK.
Central Kitsap campus. You've been going there for a while. We got some stools coming out here so we can just sit down. I mean, you're going to do all the talking, so I'm going to sit down and take the day off. One day a week I work, you know. So anyhow, okay, so not everyone knows your story here. So share. I mean, you were born and there were some challenges that you had to face. Tell everybody a little bit about that.
Yeah, so first off, my name is Megan. All of us have differences. And for me, one of my differences is my face. I was born with a cranial facial condition called a hemangioma. And when I was born, the hemangioma was a tumor and it became very life-threatening. And due to medical drugs, that's what ultimately saved my life. And when I was growing up, I had a lot of reconstructive surgeries. And the surgeries impacted different areas of my life, from academics to social to my perspective on life. But even impacting those different areas of my life, I still was struggling a lot with, why was I born this way? I believe that we have one life. And I was like, why was I given this hard deal? And I was always constantly getting stared at and asked questions of what happened to your face. But what's been incredible to see in the last few months is how God has been working on my heart and taking that pain from my story into bringing hope to others.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. I mean, how many surgeries do you think you had?
About 21 reconstructive surgeries throughout my childhood.
Wow. Now, recently there was a movie that came out called Wonder. It's based on a best-selling book called Wonder. And that kind of opened the door for you, some opportunities. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so for you that are not familiar, Wonder is about a book of a character named Augie that has a facial difference. It's a made-up story, but for me and so many other people, this story is not just made up. This is our lives. And what I did is there was a Facebook group of teachers around the world that have been reading this book, Wonder, to their students, and they were sharing ideas. And one night, I thought, you know what, I'm going to take a step outside my comfort zone, and I am going to offer these teachers free of charge. If you're interested, I can Skype you a class, and they could talk to somebody who's gone through these exact same challenges. And when I posted that, I really didn't know what the response would be. I don't know if it was allowed to happen nowadays in schools and that, but oh my goodness. The next morning when I woke up, it blew up, and the rest is history. But ever since September, I have spoken 164 times across 48 states, plus classes from Australia, Canada, Germany, Indonesia, Pakistan, and soon England.
Yeah. What have you been doing with your free time? 164 times since September. Okay, you said 48 states. Which states are left?
Hawaii and Wyoming, but if all goes as planned, by next Tuesday, my 25th birthday, I will have spoken to all 50 states.
Isn't that cool? Come on, you're just Skyping in. That is so good. Okay, so what's been some of the highlights on this journey as you've been sharing your story?
I think the really big two highlights is one, God has shown me a lot of what my talents are. I think in life a lot of times I'm like, God, what am I good at? And for me, this opportunity came out of nowhere. I mean, it came with taking a step outside my comfort zone. And ever since then, I've discovered the talent of public speaking and that. And I think the second talent, the second thing that God has revealed to me is how much brokenness there is in this world. I don't need to tell you, you just know that from your own lives of how much sadness there are. So when I Skype into these classes, what I've discovered is it's not just me sharing my story. Honestly, it's not about me. What it's about is having these students start a discussion and to learn that, all of us have pain in our stories, no matter how old we are, but we can learn that through that pain and through those differences, if we come together, we can unite. And one really cool story is I got a little note cards from students from a school from California, and one of the little boys said, I always wanted to try to fit in with the popular kids. But after hearing their story, I learned that it doesn't matter. What matters is how much I have to be kind to one another.
Not good. So good. Now, you give an opportunity for the students to ask questions. What's that like?
It's honestly, at first I was like, I don't know how this is going to be, but with kids, I think that's what's kept me going and why I'm over 160, is because every single session is so unique in itself. And some of the questions have been funny, for instance, like, what's your favorite kind of cheese? which is American cheese, to,
Just in case you're wondering.
yeah, fun fact, to very tough questions of, do you ever wish that you weren't born that way? Or do you ever wish that you weren't alive? And honestly, in those moments, I'm taken back, and it kind of takes my breath away, but I keep my composure, and I remember the age of these children that I'm speaking to, and then I say back to them that in life, sometimes we have hard moments, but you know what, a storm's not going to last forever, and even when you're in that storm and in that tough moment, and you're so scared and you don't know what the next step's going to be, you just keep your head up and you look for the good in that moment.
That's so good. Yeah. Yeah, there's a moment when your faith became real. Yeah. When was that?
So for me, I grew up in the church, but the moment that God became so real to me was at a New Life summer camp when I was 19 years old, and I was volunteering. I was in the field, and I didn't know if God was going to speak to me at that summer camp. I was like, yeah, I heard that happens, but I don't know if it's going to happen. And in that moment when a pastor said, you cannot share in the victory of God and remain a victim, I instantly knew that was about me. And that, for me, those words dug so deep into me, because I knew that I had been a victim to the way I looked, and that I would always ask the questions, why me? But in that moment, when I had those words go deep into my soul, I said, you know what, God, I'm going to take a step outside the comfort zone and trust that you're going to write the story of my life. And it's so cool, because on the walk back to my tent that night, I heard the voice of God say, it's just about to begin. And ever since then, that's the truth, is life is, every single day is an adventure, and that you never know what's going to happen next.
That's so good, that's so good. Was there anything you wanted to say?
Yeah, so for me, one big thing is sharing your story so many times like I have in the last 4 months kind of becomes a little vulnerability. And sometimes you're like, oh, I have to be open, talking to strangers and that. And for me, my facial difference is only one part of who I am. And the thing is that we all have positivity things, and we all have negative things, and labels put on us. But the truth is, all of those labels, every little part of who we are, it's all part of our story, and God's going to use that to bring glory to Him, and that we're all made in the image of God, and we're all masterpieces to Him.
Woo! She may be compact. Wow. A powerhouse of courage and faith. Megan, we're so proud of you. So proud of you. And I think this morning you're feeling, aren't you? You're getting inspired. I mean, so many times we look at the hurts, the pains, even the scars. Sometimes. You say something about scars. What is that?
Yeah, so for me, my scars are my face. But all of us have scars, whether they're on the outside or on the inside. But the truth is, our scars are just a roadmap to our past, but they do not define our future.
That's good. I think some of us need to hear that, don't we? Well, Megan, we're so privileged that you're part of our church and sharing with us today and encouraging us, and we know what you're doing. It's just an amazing thing to speak in the lives of students. And just so many kids these days are walking with insecurities, and you're inspiring them to grow. And so I was doing a little snooping on Facebook on your wall, and I noticed that you love to do adventurous things.
Dude, my life motto right now is life is an adventure. Sometimes we have big adventures or small adventures, but in the end, it's one big adventure.
Yeah. So I grabbed a couple photos. So there's this photo of you doing a bubble run. Yes. How cool is that? I mean, why not? Why not go do a bubble run?
Yeah, I highly advise it. 99% of the people just walk in, and you just go through the bubbles.
Yeah, we can do that. That's fun. That's fun. But then this is the one that caught my eye right here. You and Garth Brooks. Come on. I mean, how many of you know country music will be sung in heaven?
For sure.
Yeah, for sure. Anyhow, you're loving all these adventures, and so as a campus, here's what we did. We got you a little something. Because we believe you are just getting started. It's just beginning. And we thought, why not be able to capture every single moment? And so we got you a GoPro.
Thank you.
GoPro for all your adventures, your bubble runs, all the different things you're doing. And there's even like a stick in there, you can do this thing. The selfie stick, I think they call it. So they tell me.
Thank you.
So they tell me. So here's what I'd love to do. We want to pray a blessing on you because God's working through you. But I also want to ask, would you pray for us?
Absolutely.
To have courage, and then we would allow God to work through our lives, whether it's the brokenness, the pain, the scars. We'd allow our story to connect to His story. So, church, let's pray together. Jesus, thank you so much for Megan, and thank you for the light she is in this world. And God, we thank you that you have beautifully knit her together for your purposes, for your glory. And Jesus, we want to pray that in these coming weeks and months, as she continues to share her story and step out in faith, God, would you use it to rescue people who are trapped in insecurity, to rescue people that are so discouraged and down, but would you use her story to pull them out of that? And God, we pray that as she gives of herself, God, would her tank remain full? Would you fill her up? Would you continue to give her confidence and encouragement? And Lord, even in those moments where she's needing to be vulnerable, God, would you meet her in that moment? And would you hold her? Would you comfort her? Would you be her strength? And so, God, we just pray a blessing on her today as a church. And we say, God, would you do greater things in and through her life in these coming months? In Jesus' name, amen. Would you pray for us?
God, I thank you for this time. I thank you for this opportunity for me to share my story. And God, I just pray for each person in this room that they know that they are valuable in your eyes and that you love them each for who they are, God, and that you each made each of us for a purpose for your glory, God. And I just pray that whatever pain is in our lives, God, that you know that you are using it to bring glory to you, God, through the purposes that you've called. So turning pain into purpose, God. And I just pray that if there's anybody with fear or they're scared about something, God, just know that you are there with them, comforting them and giving them the strength, God. And I just pray for Jonathan's sermon, that you can speak the words through him to bring hope to people, and that we can, when we leave here today, we can be the hands and feet of Jesus and be empowered to bring healing to this world, God. Amen.
Amen. Can we give